judiciary has rejected a plea of the accused to release them on bail, taking into consideration of their indisposition. Accusations have been launched against the suspects for receiving the legal gratification in order to fulfill the task of providing a proportion of the 110 million compensation they are entitled to over the acquisition of a land belonging to the accused in Torrington Avenue, Colombo by the Urban Development Authority.
A brother of former Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakara named Thisara Nanayakara was reported to have been arrested in connection with a complaint on financial fraud. The Criminal Investigation Department has arrested Thisara Nanayakara in Bibile. He was reported to have been placed under detention on the 10th of December 2018 as well over the attacking of the residence of a Pradeshia Sabha member of the SLPP. Police media spokesman SSP KB Manatunga said that suspect Thisara Eroshana Nanayakara was arrested in Bibila today over accepting a bribe of 3 million out of 4 million rupees promised to secure employment in Finland. Further investigations are being conducted regarding the incident and the suspect is scheduled to be produced before the Gampaha Magistrates Court tomorrow.
The 6,000 rupees allowance paid to students of qualified Aswasuma beneficiary families has been directly credited to the relevant bank accounts, a sum of 6.7 billion rupees. The Ministry of Finance has credited the money to the relevant accounts. Accordingly, 1,107,863 qualified students from grade 1 to grade 13 will receive benefits. The President submitted a proposal to the Cabinet to pay a special allowance to the selected students in low-income families from the year 2025. The Cabinet has given its approval for this proposal. The government has also decided to pay allowance of 6,000 rupees per student who are not included in the Aswasuma program, parentless students, students whose mother or father is handicapped, school-going children in children's homes, and students who have become helpless under special circumstances. Members of the recipient families have praised the new program initiated by the government.
The President has given instructions to the authorities today on the prevention of intrusion of illegal narcotics as well as to prevent the unauthorized departure of individuals from the country. The President has given the orders at a discussion at the President's office with the heads of the Department of Immigration and Immigration, Sri Lanka Customs and the Airport and Aviation Services. The discussion extensively focused on preventing the entry of narcotics and other prohibited substances into the country, curbing corruption, fraud and irregularities within airport premises and halting the unauthorized departure of individuals from the country. During the meeting, President Dissanayake instructed the establishment of an integrated camera system and a unified observation room to be shared among the Department of Immigration and Immigration, Sri Lanka Customs and the Airport and Aviation Services. The President also emphasized the need for a practical and modernized process to prevent smuggling, calling for the replacement of the current scanning equipment with advanced modern scanners. Highlighting the need to eliminate the negative perception surrounding Sri Lanka Customs, the President underscored the urgency of implementing strict disciplinary and legal action to restore public confidence.
The number of tourist arrivals in Sri Lanka this year has exceeded the 2 million limit. It has also pointed out that this is the largest number of tourists visiting the island since the year 2018. In the first 26 days of the month of December this year, a total of 195,127 tourists have visited Sri Lanka. It is anticipated that this figure would exceed 250,000 by the 31st of this month. There has been a collapse in the tourism industry in Sri Lanka as a result of the East attack, COVID pandemic and the economic crisis. However, since the assumption of duties by the new government, a significant progress in the local tourism industry has been witnessed. The present government has taken measures to issue free visa facilities to 39 countries. It has also been reported that in the past 3 months alone, more than 515,000 tourists have arrived. The government is planning to bring around 3 million foreign tourists to the island next year. Our cameramen have caught the pictures of how large the number of foreign tourists arriving in Polonnaruwa district to watch ancient ruins.
Sri Lanka is a beautiful country with a lot of beautiful things to see. And we've been to Sigiriya yesterday and now we're in Polonnaruwa and it's really beautiful.
Beautiful country here. You have great people, good food and amazing animals and biodiversity.
If you want to visit somewhere where you want to see lots of different things, enjoy, have a good time, have good weather, this is the place to come.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says one of the prominent targets of the government is to prepare a trainee labour force to fulfill requirements in the local and global labour market. She was addressing a ceremony at the BMICH yesterday. The event was organised in connection with the presentation of certificates to a group of students who have followed diploma courses conducted by the Sri Lanka Vocational Training Authority. 761 youth who have followed diploma courses under 13 subjects conducted by the Sri Lanka Vocational Training Authority received their certificates on this occasion.
The Vocational Training Authority has always been a cornerstone of our nation's development. Over the years, it has played a vital role in empowering the youth of Sri Lanka with skills that are not only practical but also transformative. Today, I am proud to note that approximately 35,000 trainees are trained annually across 18 diverse trades under the guidance of VTA. These trades encompass fields such as construction, hospitality, information technology, automotive repair, and renewable energy, to name just a few fields critical to both our local and global communities. As you know, for a nation to thrive, for a society to thrive and flourish, we need people with very many different skills. We need to have doctors, but we also need nurses, we also need elder caregivers, mental health therapists, physiotherapists, beauticians, artists, engineers, mechanics, carpenters, and believe it or not, even politicians. We need all of these people for a society to grow, for a society to thrive and flourish. It is the intention of this government to make sure that our education system leaves no one behind, that every child who enters our system, whether it is at early childhood education or at grade 1, will be nurtured and mentored through a process where when he or she comes out of it, a career path is open to him or her. We want the choices that you have to be broadened, for you to have many choices, for you to aspire to do good things, to do great things, according to what you feel you are best at and what you can and want to do. It is in such a society where our youth have many choices, where our youth see many avenues and paths for their growth and development, that we can call ourselves a country that is truly developed and truly serving the citizens that it is supposed to serve.
The current school vacation and the Christmas season have increased the income of businessmen engaged in the tourism industry. Sigiriya has captured the attention of the local tourists as well. The entire area is filled with tourists. Meanwhile, there is a heavy demand among local tourists for the Ella town as well. As a result, heavy traffic is being reported in and around Ella town. Another hotspot for tourists is the Unawatuna and Galle Fort. The Colombo city has also been attracted by tourists. The Colombo city has also been attracted by tourists. In the meantime, Minister Sunil Handurnetti has presided over the SLPP 2024 National Handicraft Presidential Awards ceremony at the BMICH premises in Colombo today. The awards presentation is being conducted annually by the National Craft Council under the direction of the Ministry of Industries and Entrepreneur Development. Awards are being handed over through participation of a board of veteran judges representing 31 sectors and 66 subsectors in the field of handicrafts. Accordingly, 407 artists in the field were felicitated today. The Swarna Award in the traditional sector was presented to artist T.G. Saman of the Kandy district. The Swarna Award in the non-traditional sector was handed over to artist P.S. Samakrishna of the Jaffna district. This was the first instance of a Swarna Award being presented to the handicraft sector in the northern province. Minister Sunil Handunnetti has recalled how they have fought in the interest of the people in the streets prior to assuming power. He further said that struggle was waged against wastage, frauds and corruption. The minister said now they are in the government, but the fight is now directed on a different group. Those are the officials who are unable to abandon the old programs they undertook during the previous regimes. The minister also said some of these officials are working according to their old habits and they are unable to dissociate from them. Minister Handunnetti further said that day before yesterday he had conducted discussions with the Deputy Minister Chaturangabe Singha, Ministry Secretary and other officials. He further said that he has made a request to make small changes in order to safeguard the local industries, but these officials, he said, do not want to make any such changes. He has also recalled of a visit to a regional coordinating committee where corruption and inefficiency reigned. Minister Handunnetti also said many artists are well aware of how difficult it is to procure stocks of copper and brass for their industries. He added that up to now, policies were implemented to protect the activities of smuggling these items out of the country. He has also given a pledge to the industrialists that the government would provide the necessary brass and iron for the industries from next year. He added that traders will be given only the leftovers of the items for their business purposes.
The People's Excellency Awards 2024 presentation ceremony is scheduled to be conducted in the BMICH Colombo tomorrow. The nominations for the awards have been declared. A special feature has been the national television being nominated for 6 awards. The aim of the event is to evaluate the excellent performances in many fields including banks, business, media, marketing and education. Indi Kumar Singha of the National Television has been nominated as the Best News Director of the Year. Chaminda Gunaratna of the National Television has also been nominated as the Best Television Presenter of the Year. The National Television news feature telecast on every Sunday titled Discover Sri Lanka by Asanga Nilagaratna has also been nominated as the Best Television Documentary Series of the Year. The Business in Brief program produced by Dushanta Darshana has also been nominated for a People's Excellency Awards. The name of Maria Jaman of the Netra channel has also been nominated as the Best Tamil News Presenter of the Year. Pranita Koniswaran of the Netra channel has also been nominated for the award of the Most Popular Female Tamil Presenter of the Year.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute should become an institute which guides the politician on the state foundation planning mechanism. He has made these remarks at a recent observation tour of the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute. The SLFI, which comes under the purview of the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, is functioning as a leading adult education and training center of the country. The minister has inspected each division of the institute and discussed its progress with the staff headed by the chairman of the SLFI. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that their target and expectation is to prepare the foundation for the building of the state. The minister further said the present government also has the capability to spend the 5 years of governance by doing something relevant. This is what has happened in the country previously. Although a government could function in this manner, the country is unable to advance. Sri Lanka is expecting today the results of such tardiness experienced especially since 2022. The minister has inquired as to what data was based on the sudden banning of the importation of chemical fertilizer. Today's coconut shortage is not based upon solely on the destruction of the talc monkeys. The main reason could have been attributed to not compiling data in a systematic basis. The country needs a vision to go forward, Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa further said. In preparing future plans, the most suitable institute available is the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has issued a special gazette notification fixing a maximum retail price for canned fish. Accordingly, the maximum retail price for a 425-gram tuna salmon is 380 rupees. The maximum retail price for a 155-gram tin of mackerel is 180 rupees, and the maximum retail price for a 425-gram canned fish of this variety is 420 rupees. The maximum retail price of a 425-gram jack mackerel can of tin fish is 560 rupees. The Consumer Affairs Authority says the relevant order becomes applicable with effect from today.
New chairman of the Lanka Salt Company, T. Nandanatilaka, says that no room will be left to create a shortage of salt in future. He points out that plans are underway to reopen several salt turns currently being closed. T. Nandanatilaka has assumed duties as the chairman of the Lanka Salt Company, Hambantota, yesterday. Addressing a media briefing today, he has pointed out on the problem of salt in the country as well as the irregularities being reported in the company. Chairman Lanka Salt Company T. Nandanatilaka said that when the media and other sources elaborate on a salt shortage, the general public get frightened in an impending scarcity. Therefore, the people tend to stockpile on large quantities of salt, and the chairman added that this would pave the way for a shortage of salt in the market. He has requested the general public therefore not to have any unnecessary fears of salt shortage as there are ample stocks.
Deputy Minister Chaturanga Abeyasinghe says that the country needs to build up a reserve of $15 million in the next 4 to 5 years. He has made these remarks participating in the Vayada Vijayabhimani Entrepreneur Awards presentation of Excellence. The Deputy Minister has also pointed out that it is the entrepreneurs of the country who are extending a helping hand in this connection. The event was held at the Northwestern Province Auditorium yesterday, aimed with the objective of subjecting to a systematic evaluation of entrepreneurs directly involved in Northwestern Province economic development. The awards presentation was jointly organized by the Entrepreneur Development Authority of the Northwestern Provincial Council and the Northwestern Province Industrial Service Bureau. 2 awards for the best entrepreneurs in the Kurunegala and Puttlam districts and 12 awards of excellence and 10 special awards were also presented on this occasion. Deputy Minister Chaturanga Abeyasinghe said that in order to create a development bank scheme, they are engaged in strenuous efforts to assist the minister to bring out the changes in the existing system. Many criteria in banking will have to reduce the interest rates. He has questioned whether the existing banking system would be able to maintain conducive interest rate limits for these small and medium-scale industries.
A discussion on the future course of action and progress of the Department of Labour was held at the head office of the department yesterday. Minister Anil Jayantha Fernando and Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe have presided over the event. Special attention has been focused on this occasion on the difficulties being faced by the general public who come to obtain services of the Labour Department. The Minister has pointed out on the need on the expeditious utilization of latest technology in the provision of services. He has also stated that as a result of the inappropriate usage of information technology, service recipients are being subject to numerous difficulties. Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe said irregularities were reported in many instances when Employment Provident Fund beneficiaries obtaining 30 and 75% of funds from the EPF. He has reiterated the need to terminate all such discrepancies. One of the conditions being presented in obtaining 30% of the EPF benefits is that the relevant recipient should fulfill a minimum of a 10-year period contribution to the fund. The Deputy Minister has instructed the officials to look into the feasibility of reducing the period of eligibility to 5 years. Other issues that have come under discussion include appropriate recovering of the dues of the EPF and the resolution of labour-related disputes at the earliest convenience. A group of officials of the Ministry of Labour has also participated in the discussion.
And now more local news items in brief. High Commissioner of the State of Malta in Sri Lanka, Ruben Gozi, expresses commitment to strengthen cooperation between Sri Lanka and Malta. He has reiterated the intention of his government at a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarsurya at the Prime Minister's office yesterday. The Malta High Commissioner's office is located in New Delhi, overseeing the functions of both India and Sri Lanka. A special operation to inspect vehicles with the objective of minimizing motor accidents during the festive season is underway. Accordingly, the police have taken measures to implement the law against 8,400 errant motorists in the 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. today. The police station in Valmilla Bandaragama has been able to arrest 4 suspects, including 2 drivers who were engaged in delivering fuel from bowsers in a discreet manner without causing any damages to the sealed outlets of the bowsers. The police says the thieves got used to steal fuel from the bowsers coming from the Kolonava fuel depot complex. Sri Lankan cyclist Sugat Pathirana, who had embarked upon a 75-day cycling tour from Point Dondra to Kashmir in India, has returned to the island yesterday after covering a distance of around 7,000 kilometers. Pathirana has begun his cycle tour from Point Dondra and reached Point Pedro. Then he left to Nagapatnam in India from Kankasanturai harbour on a boat ride. From Nagapatnam, he had headed for the southern point of Kanyakumari via Dhanushkodi. Sugat Pathirana is a resident of Pallegama in Denyaya. A group of wildlife veterinarians are engaged in training or treating elephant injured with gunshot injuries in the head for the past 6 days. Our correspondent says the wounded elephant is lying on the bound of Ellewewa in the Mahawali B zone. The Sultan Skandamurda's 367 vessel of the Indonesian Navy has reached the Colombo harbour today. It was received by the Sri Lanka Navy with a traditional naval welcome. The ship, with 90 meters in length, is comprised of a crew of 120 sailors. It is expected to leave Sri Lanka on the 30th of this month. And after this break, we'll be bringing you foreign news.
Dua, did you brush your teeth? Yes, ma'am. Puta, is your school bag ready? Yes, ma'am, ready. Did you lock the gate?
Yes.
Did you all check for dengue mosquito breeding places?
Yes.
Then good night. Good night. Exactly. Every day, everybody focus for dengue control.
And in foreign news, state funeral ceremony of former Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh was held in New Delhi city this afternoon.
Late Dr. Singh is considered as the leader who had directed India on the path of economic development. The Indian government has declared a 7-day period of mourning on account of his passing away. The former Indian Prime Minister has died in New Delhi city last Thursday night. The remains were brought to the Congress Party headquarters in New Delhi city this morning. Party leaders, activists, state officials and family members have paid their last respects to the late leader on this occasion. The Indian flag is flown half-mast in every state and private sector institution in India with the proclamation of the 7-day period of mourning. Large groups of Indians have expressed their condolences over the demise of the senior politician. The body of the late Prime Minister was carried on to the Nigambodh Ghat crematorium in New Delhi this afternoon amidst a guard of honour of the Indian Armed Forces. President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and politicians including MPs and ministers were among those who had paid their last respects. In addition, a large group of government officials, foreign dignitaries and diplomats were present. Dr. Manmohan Singh is being accorded the honour of elevating status of India to the world's fifth economic power from an outdated and backward economic order.
In other foreign stories, a Houthi political official says the group will continue attacking Israel in solidarity with the Palestinians despite the escalating Israeli airstrikes in Yemen. Mohammed al-Bukaiti told the foreign media that the Houthis would escalate the military targeting of Israel until it stopped what he described as genocide in Gaza. This week, Israeli warplanes struck the international airport in Yemen's capital Sana'a and ports and power stations on the Red Sea coast, killing at least 4 people. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned that its response to more than a year of missile and drone attacks by the Iran-backed group was just getting started.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And now on sports news. New Zealand has recorded thrilling 8-run victory over Sri Lanka in the first T20 match of the current series played at the Bay Oval Stadium in New Zealand today. Sri Lanka team captain Chalit Asalanka, after winning the toss, has invited the New Zealand team to bat first. Accordingly, the New Zealand team has scored 172 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in the 20 allotted overs. The highest scorer was Daryl Mitchell, who hit 62 runs. Michelle Braswell added 59 runs. Binura Fernando, Mahesh Deekshan and Vanidu Hasaranga has recorded best bowling figures by capturing 2 wickets each. The Sri Lankan inning was opened by Kusal Mendis and Pathum Nissanka, who have built a 121-run strong foundation for the opening wicket. Kusal Mendis was out for 46 runs and 3 quick wickets fell when the Sri Lankan score was at 121. The top scorer of the Sri Lankan team was Pathum Nissanka, who has recorded 90 runs. Its departure was marked when Sri Lanka team's score was at 153 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. The remaining Sri Lankan batsmen were shot out when the score reached 164 runs mark. None of the Sri Lankan batsmen other than Pathum and Kusal Mendis has managed to pass the 10-run limit. Jacob Duffy captured 3 Sri Lankan wickets.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
That's all the stories for tonight. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.